And we're live. I believe we're live. Just going to give it a second to kick in. Happy Tuesday, all my beautiful ladies. I hope you're having a great start to your week. I know that as collectively, I've been just sensing an energy of just kind of lower frequency this week, just kicking off this week. And I want to just check in with each of you and just give yourself a chance to check in with yourself and say, how am I doing today? And really check in. How am I feeling today? And as always, giving you that reminder, that loving, sweet reminder to always take the space that you need to recharge, right? If your body and your soul is saying, I need a little bit of a break, it's really, really important to do that. I'm so blessed to be having this little puppy in my life because it is the best way to bring you back into the present moment to recharge. Like nothing pulls you out of work mode and into the present moment of just being and just resting and just recharging, like having a cute little puppy staring at you just like, it's the sweetest thing. So that's been a really beautiful reminder for me every single day to just take little moments and pauses throughout the day to really come back to myself, come back to little Charlie, and to just come back to that place of love and play throughout the day. It makes such a huge difference. But to those of you joining, I can't see who's on, but feel free to introduce yourself or just pop your name in there if you've been in here for a while. I'd love to see who's on here. We're going to have a really beautiful discussion tonight because, oh, hi, Sophia. Because I really want to talk a little bit more about this idea of opening up a man's heart to love. And, if any of you know my story, I'm going to kind of share it again just for those of you who are new because we've had a lot of new members come in. But for a long time, I really struggled with this exact concept, how to open up a man's heart to love. And it frustrated me like no end because I really felt like, for every other area in my life, I could go read a book, I could study up on it, I could take a quiz, and I could master it and learn it and succeed. But when it came to relationships, it felt just so confusing and so unnavigatable, right? And there's like no roadmap. There's no way to just like have it all figured out and master it. And so that's why I just found myself for a really long time getting into this pattern that I now lovingly call the hook and fizzle, where literally I would just hook men in the beginning with this allure of being this confident, fun, amazing person. But then something would shift and I would actually just lose that whole essence of who I was and turn into this crazy girl, right? I talk about it, the crazy girl, and drop some love in the comments if this has ever resonated for you, or if you've ever had this experience as well. And I would never be able to get past a few dates or a few months with a new guy in a relationship. And it was like clockwork. And I knew that there was this level that it was kind of like falling on, right? It was just like this barrier that I couldn't get through. It was like the 3-month curse. It wasn't like that every time, but it was just this thing that like I could never get to the other side of the happily ever after. And so the reason that I feel so excited to be able to talk about this is because I had some huge lessons and some huge learnings that came through my own experience of navigating this crazy world and now being engaged to my sweetheart. And now I've been able to really dial it in and understand on a much, much deeper level the science and the psychology around what it really takes to create that kind of attraction. And this is something that I really, really support my clients through in the Attraction Academy. And it's such a beautiful container to be able to go in there and really massage out all the just details and craziness of your specific experience and help you to be able to zoom out and see it from the perspective that I see it. But I want to give you just a little bit of an insight into it right now. And then if it's something that you want to dive into more, definitely DM me this week. I'm capping enrollments at this week. So if that's something that you want to like dive into more, this is really the epitome of this work, right? It's really learning how am I able to connect to a man's heart. And the biggest thing that I want to share right now in this first part of this is that one of the biggest parts in connecting with a man's heart is first we have to connect to our own heart. And when I say this, that seems all vague and nice, and you're like, yeah, okay, fine. But it's so much more than just like loving yourself or feeling grounded. It's about really being able to trust yourself to go into your feelings and being able to communicate from that place in a grounded way. all your feelings, everything that you want, everything that you need, setting the proper boundaries, and being able to hold a safe container for your man. And there's so much psychology that goes behind this, but at its essence, the idea is that we really want to make a man feel safe in our presence. And most times, with most women that I speak with, and this is how I was too, I didn't even know that that was something that I needed to do, right? And once again, drop some comments, and I'd love to get an engagement and conversation going here, because I know this is a very common theme for a lot of women, having this challenge of feeling like they are not able to, or not even aware of, this concept of really being able to hold space for a man. And let's think about it really, because if you think about it, most men, the men that we want to attract, these beautiful, gentlemen, chivalrous, masculine men, right? They don't spend much time dropping into their heart space. They don't spend much time talking about feelings. And if anything, feelings are just continuously kind of just like pushed to the side or shoved down, or they've been conditioned to not go into their feelings. And so the majority of their life, they spend in their heads, in their logic, in their kind of going, doing, strategizing, planning kind of mindset. And they're very, very good at being in this mindset. But what happens is that when they're in that mindset in your presence, they're not in their heart, okay? And so it's really our job as women to be these vessels, these channels, these beautiful portals into love, okay? I want to say that again. We really get to be these vessels and these channels and these portals that bring men into love, okay? And we can't do that if we are not already in our heart space, right? If we are caught up in our mind and we're meeting them at their mind, it just clashes and it just stays right there and it never drops any deeper. And this is really what happened for me, was realizing, oh my gosh, I've been hanging out up here the whole time, right? I didn't even know. I didn't even know there was this whole other deeper level that I was afraid to go into. I was afraid to go into it, and I didn't even know it was there. But I knew that it meant I would have to really open up my heart, and I'd have to be really vulnerable. And that was scary. And I wasn't really feeling like that was something I wanted to do, because I had gotten really hurt in the past. And everything in my mind was saying, don't you go back there. We're not digging into those feelings again, right? But through my journey and through hiring a coach and through actually working through the past of my experiences with my relationships, and I was able to come back home into a beautiful, safe, comfortable space in my own heart. And from that place, I was able to really make space for a man and helping to open up his heart and go there within himself. So that's what I really wanted to leave you with today, just something short and sweet and something to really think about, and as a little reminder for you today of just remembering how powerful we are as women, right? How incredibly powerful we are. The majesty that we hold in our energy is so powerful if we know how to use it, if we tap into it, right? If we do not tap into it, then we just get into the buddy and the friend kind of category and zone, and we don't end up being put into that beautiful light as the goddess that we are in the ways that he gets to see us. He sees us as a friend and not as a goddess, right? Or not as a queen. So we need to hold ourselves in that respect, and then we need to hold that space for him as well. And that's really the first step here in how to really open up a man's heart to love. And then, of course, it goes so much deeper into how you communicate, how you really are able to show up in your energy levels and all of that. But this is really the first key part, is really being able to get out of your own head and get into your heart. And then from that place, hold that safe container for him to be able to go and do the same. So really powerful stuff, really powerful stuff. I want to look in here in the comments. Beautiful, I've got some things coming through. Sophia says, I'm feeling gratitude for you today. Thank you for showing up and sharing your lovely wisdom. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, Sophia. Yeah, Sophia has just joined the Ladies Love Lounge, and we're so happy to have you in here. I'm really glad to be able to support you through that. Sophia says, boundaries create safety. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Victoria says, I needed to hear this and definitely need to know how to tap into this. I feel you, love, and I completely have got you. I've got you in this category. And feel free to reach out if this is something you want to learn more about, because yeah, it's so incredibly magical when we really tap into this space within us. It's just this, it's this warmth, right? It's this essence, this energy that just emanates out, and it just makes him feel like, I can relax, right? I don't have to prove myself anymore. I don't have to be in my head anymore like I am with the guys. I get to relax. I get to just be in my heart. And when you make him feel safe, then that's when he opens up, right? And that's when it just becomes so beautiful and intimate and special. But there's such a delicate process to be able to step into that, right? And that's where we have to be the shepherds of this. If we look to our man to try and do that for us, most times it's not going to go there. And that's why for me, it always kind of slammed in that 3-month mark, because I wasn't going there and he was waiting for me to go there, but he wasn't going to be able to go there for himself. And so we just kind of fizzled out because we were never able to get into that really deep heart bond. And not every man is going to be this way. There are some very beautifully emotionally intelligent men out there, and I really love meeting them, and they are more tapped into their feelings and are able to hold space in that way. But a lot of times the kinds of men that we are really wanting to attract, they need a little more training. They need a little more training. So if you find a gem, that's fantastic. But for the rest of them, we just get to really be that beautiful role model and that guide and that beautiful, goddess figure for them. And that's to me what lights me up about being a woman, is really getting to tap into that essence and that energy. So I'm glad that this has been hitting home for you ladies. And I also, like I said, I wanted to share that the Attraction Academy is going to be, I'm capping enrollment at the end of this week. And this is really a beautiful, beautiful container that I run about every quarter for 3 to 4 women to come into an 8-week program with me. This is an intimate group coaching program where I really take a beautiful community and create a sisterhood to go through my Relax Into Love course materials. And so every week we get on calls and do Zoom calls, and you get a lot of individual one-on-one coaching as you're going through the materials, but then you also get to learn off of each other and really learn from the other ladies that are going through the program as well, and hear what I'm coaching to them, and also be able to hear the questions that they ask and have that trigger things for you. So it becomes this really dynamic, integrative learning environment. And every time I do it, I just feel so excited because it's its own journey, even though it creates the same safe container every single time. So I am thrilled with the ladies that are already joined and are just anxiously, excitedly waiting, and would love to invite anyone that is interested to just learn more about this for us to get on a quick call, and I can just kind of share a little bit more about it and see if it's the right fit for you. So anyways, my lovelies, I hope you have a beautiful evening, and I will talk with you all soon.